It is shaping up to be another absolutely fantastic day here on the LPGA Tour of Korea as we say good afternoon and welcome to the Payram Club for round two of the MEDIHEAL HANKOOKILBO Championship. Going through our featured groups, Lee So-young, Cho Ayeon, and Lee Shu-ying playing together, teeing off at 11:55 a.m. Kim So-yoon 2, Che Ga-bin, and Kim Ga-young. 10 minutes following that trio, and an interesting group put together here with some big names, some newcomers, some superstars, Lin Grant, Yu So-yeon, and Park Young-young. 12:25 features the group of Kim Soo-ji and company. On this Friday in Incheon, it is 25 degrees, cloudy skies with a wind consistently 1.7 meters coming out of the southeast. As we head out to the sixth hole, even pars where we find Kim Se-young. Her approach shot on the par 4. A lot of the names we followed closely yesterday, while they would have teed off this morning with the flipped tee times. Kim In-bi, the rookie who was the clubhouse leader after round 1 yesterday, posting a round of 72 today. She maintains her one-stroke lead, but charging, and I do mean charging, up the leaderboard this morning was Park Ji-young with a 65 to climb 35 spots and sit in outright second. A bogey-free round, 7 birdies on her scorecard. As we go to 15, this is Lee Ju-mi. .67 for her yesterday, teed off on the 10th hole this morning, all pars since she began on the West Course at number 10. She will technically arrive on the green, though, at the extreme rear of it. Pretty good approach game yesterday, 14 over 18 greens in regulation, and she is able to get up to the putting surface despite finding the sand off the tee. On to 6, Kim Soo-ji in the rough. .71 yesterday. She is 1 over after her bogey at 1, and this should go a long way in trying to eliminate that. From the rough to within 4 or 5 feet. It's a brilliant shot from the second cut. Speaking of cut, the cut line at the moment, +2 would not be enough to qualify. We have 65 players inside of it at the minute, +1 or lower. This on 7, nearly hauling out. Up on the tiptoes, and yes, you did make it. Also making it look quite easy. Kim In-ju at 9, currently 2 under. Not going to be able to go under for the 4th time today. She is one of the hard chargers as well, up there with Park Ji-young of 34 spots. It was a 73 1 over yesterday. To 7 with Park Young-young. She is 3 under. Currently in a tie for 13th position. 1 over, starting the day with a bogey. She also is able to stick it close. Now a topsy-turvy putt with ambitions for Kim Se-young to get back right. Was never confident she was going to jar that, but instead sets up her 2-putt par. One of a handful of MEDIHEAL sponsored competitors this week. Sun starting to break through the clouds as well, shaping up to be a fantastic afternoon here at Payram. Kim Soo-ji, slight uphill putt, about 5 feet to move under par. First birdie of the day comes at 6. 71 in round 1 that she shot yesterday. Birdies here at 6. 13 as well, bogeyed the 7th. So we go to 8 with Kim So-yoon 2. Tee shot on the par 3. 137 meters, playing shorter than it had last year. This is just the second edition of this tournament. He's never quite able to get that tee shot to bite. A lengthy putt for birdie. And now Lynn Grant. Well, as it stands, battling to qualify for the weekend. As that short bogey putt, that puts her 2 strokes beneath the cut line, down in a tie for 73rd. Her birdie today also came at 6. Now he's so young. Just inside the cart path at 9. Sitting up decently well in the rough. That allows her to attack. Rolls it through the fringe. If it stops anytime soon, maybe a bird. And Park Young for her bird. Undoing the early round mistake. Back to 4 under where she began the day. A long way back for Ijumi. This is technically for birdie, but it's going to take quite the adventure on the way back. It's starting on its way. Leaves that about 3 feet short. Should be a par. And more birdies to be had after some early fantastic approach shots. Yu So-yeon, even par, and saluting the spectators. This is 7. Looks to be a 5-wood off the tee for Kim Soo-ji. Nestles that into the center of the fairway. Kim Soo-ji would go on to finish as the points winner in 2022, taking a 68-point advantage over Yoo-hae Ran. She would finish a ways back of Bang Min-ji, the money champion, but still over 1 billion she earned in 2022. Quite the year. Would have been near to the end of the fairway. Misses slightly to the left, off into the rough. Starts right, straightens out again. A serpentine putt back towards the pin. Leave about 4 feet of work still to be had. Choi-yeon. Line drive. Missing the green at 9. the roll she needed to get all the way back to the right side of the green. Went through quickly earlier, but let us show you the leaderboard early in this second round. You can see the sun in the background trying to poke through the clouds. Kim Min Biai, the rookie, 72 on the day. She sits with a one-stroke advantage over Park Ji-young after her 65. 67 for Chung Yoon-ji. She is tied for third with Chi Han-so, No Sung-yi, and Kim Shi-won. Rounding out the top 10, Peng Min-ji after a 70 in the second round. Sung Ga-eun with a 68. Lee Ju-mi still with a couple of holes before she makes the turn. She is also tied for 7th at 5 under. Will be 7-iron off the tee of the par 8, excuse me, the 8th par 3. Park Young. And starting on its way back. Down the valley ever closer. Will sit on a perch right about there. It leaves her with a 15-foot putt for birdie. Now from the fairway, Kim Min-ju. Iron trying to get up and to the back right. Back left, excuse me. Able to do most of the hard work, closest to the pin in the group. Gonna start to break left for Cho Aeon. Good effort, will require a dap in for her par. Next up at 8, Yu So-yeon. It's pretty much in the center, and as we've seen from groups prior, not enough runway to slow down. We'll roll to the border of the fringe at the back. And Yu So-yeon looks like it might have a chance. Just stop short. Marginally away from a birdie at 9. She makes the turn on her way to the 10th tee and still at even. Pretty well where she has been all tournament long through 27 holes. Kim Soo-ji, here she is at 7. Basically needs to get in line with the end of the bunker on the left. Over the water and up. Nice little backspin. Slips that in close. Great control with the wedge to set up what she will aspire to be a birdie. This is the result of that missed drive into the rough. By missing the fairway, she avoids having as much control. Can't quite get the loft on it that she needed to stay hole high. On to 16. 170 meters, the longest of the 4 par 3s. Ijumi taking flight downhill, kicking over to the left and about 10 feet shy. Be a makeable birdie. Not too much up or down, left or right. Fairly straight shot at the pin. As you can see in the bottom right corner of the leaderboard, projected cut +1. Kim Min-bi with the score to beat through 36 holes with 8 under par. Park Ji-young with an astounding 65 today as the top two. Essentially trade rounds, an even and a low score. The rookie did it yesterday, Park Ji-young doing it today. Round 2 of the MEDIHEAL HANKOOKILBO Championship. More from Pei Ram when we return. Welcome back. Kim Se-young narrowly missing her birdie, catching the outside lip and spinning around down to mark for an attempted par. Over to 8. From the border of the fringe, Yu So-yeon with a Fairly decent trek to make back up the hill, and here comes the dip on the other side. If it moves over, it's got a chance.
Good try.
Good try. I'd say an understatement on that. That was bordering on remarkable. We have been absolutely spoiled the first couple weeks of the season with some of the names we have seen return. It's a treat for the supporters. Yu So-yeon, she, in the past many years, has been one of the more decorated players. 20 professional wins for the 32-year-old. 10 of them, half on her native LPGA of Korea Tour. Jumi does have her birdie at 16. High fives all around. She moves within 2. Continuing her preparations for the tournament that I think might shortly be renamed in her honor. KLPGA Championship, as she tries to win her 3rd in the last 4 years. Very much in the fight this week. Good to see her complete that reset after disappointing into the tournament last week on Jeju. Suji can't take this downhill putt for granted. Tips the cap to acknowledge the patrons who acknowledge her birdie. So-yoon 2, 114 meters. She's got the wedge in the fairway at 9. Needs to head to the back right of this green. Just onto the front, we'll have the width to work with for her birdie putt as we go to 10 with Kim Min-ju. Back on line and just hangs on long enough. It's now 4 birdies in her last 5. She had been 1 over and perilously close to the cut line. He's changed that in a hurry. Seong blasting what should have been a 4-foot par. Honestly, further out now than she was before she addressed her last. Drops her to 1 over through 7. Bit of a puzzling one, that. So take a look at the 8th hole. As you can see, no water hazards to worry about to try and navigate around here on the penultimate hole on the east course. Straight downhill with the sand trap on the left, the right, the front. So we have that grassy knoll to the left. Tough hole today, no doubt about it. The 3 players inside the cut line at the moment have birdied it. Kim So-yi, Ha-Min Sung, and Kim Min-ju comprise that exclusive group. She heads right and just rolls off the green, but will sit up decently well for her putt down for birdie. Kim So-yoon 2 now at 9. Not quite the pace to get it all the way there. Next tee shot at 8. Never finds the bite to stay on the green. Through the fringe into the rough all the way off the back. Choi-yeon finds herself deep in the rough at 10. There's no more strokes to play with. Two over, not be good enough to qualify for Saturday. She clears that last obstacle, and despite coming narrowly shy of the green, she is over. Now Kwon So-yeon. Direct line, 106 meters. Her approach shot on the 11th. Some tidy business.
Huh?
Close to half buried at the back for Kim Se-yeon. It will adjust how she tries to play this second. For a little bit of loft to get it up and onto the green. First stage of the up and down has played well. Ju have the top shot of the group by a mile, nearly holes it from the fairway. It's about 10 centimeters away from an eagle, sure birdie. Back, using the downhill to get in, and she will be grinning all the way down this walk before her birdie. Chip to get it started. It's going to pick up some speed after moving level with the hole. Short par remaining for Joanne. Young. Downhill blast, and that will continue to roll away from the flag. You really don't have much room at all to hit the landing spot on that 10th. To 4 under now after that remarkable birdie for Kim Min-ju. That's how you play it. Despite not having much to shoot at, when you can strike the ball like that, good things will follow. Down from the fringe, you can see how far to her left she starts this putt. Burns the edge. A centimeter the other way. She's setting the flag and she's got a birdie. About as close as you can get putting from off the green. Quite the drive, 236 meters and shaped around the trees. Arriving on 17 from the fairway. Comfortably on. It's starting to unfortunately unravel. Two short putts that are nearly automatic for her that have gone astray the last 2 holes, consecutive drop shots. Young the long way across. There's the late break. Fraction too early. It's a brilliant effort. In the end, it will still only count as a par on the scorecard. Joanne needed that to save her par. spot to be, and for the time being, she drops beneath the cut line. Down to +2. In relatively quick succession, we reach the final hole of the East Course before making the turn, the long 517-meter par 5, eclipsed only by 18 by literally 1 meter. This dogleg right tee shots in towards that narrow bottleneck in the fairway. From there, close to a 90-degree turn to the right. Second shot hitting you anywhere on average between 50 to 90 yards to the pin. And you're not free from the sand after making the turn either. 1, 2, 3 on the right. Just a few steps off the front on this second round Friday. Few players need a birdie more than she does, and she starts the par 5 by narrowly rolling to the right edge of the fairway. Will avoid the worst of the rough.
저기 조금만 왼쪽으로 위로 좀만 올라와 주세요. 계속 위로 올라와 주세요.
Practice swings, and Kim Soo-ji ready to go. How quickly she's able to get her hips around the power she creates. She's one of those athletes that are a gift on the tournaments where we have the 180-degree slow-mo cameras. Some pretty unbelievable swings on this tour, and Kim Soo-ji certainly has one of them. Out to the former world number 1. Starts left, on its way, just missing over the outside edge. Back in 2017, after winning the Walmart NW Arkansas Championship, she became the #1 golfer in the world. Last win on the LPGA Tour of Korea. It's the Kia Motors Korea Women's Open Championship, June of 2020, a one-stroke victory over Kim Yeong-ju. She has a flair for the dramatics. 2 majors on the LPGA Tour, both in playoffs. One over compatriot So-hee Kyung back in 2011. On to 17 with Ijumi. An outside look at a birdie to move within 1. Just a little nudge to get it the rest of the way. Been a relatively relatively uneventful front nine thus far. 7 pars, 1 birdie. Same cannot be said for Kim Se-young. She has 4 bogeys in her last 5 holes. And all that after starting with a birdie at 1. So far, no drama on number 9. Fairway off the tee, fairway with the wedge, excuse me, fairway with the wood, immediately following. Chegabin. That's a very pleasant little kick to the left and on line. That's about 2 meters away from a birdie. Would be her 3rd of the day if she can get it there. She doubled the 4th, bogeyed the 8th. Kim Soo-ji. 200 out. Not trying to play overly aggressive, just an iron to set up her approach shot. Places that in almost a perfect position to the left side of the fairway. Arriving on the green at 12 with a thud. Needed to play towards the right and does so. Finds about halfway down instead of the middle 3rd. It's like a flashback to 9 in round 1. +3 at the time. Don't worry about the score. Just focus on the remarkable shot. Somehow picking up speed perfectly on line to go down and in for an eagle. One of the highlights of the day for the amateur. Almost then. Technical yardage at 80 meters. It's a short wedge shot for Kim Soo-ji. Pretty close to a bullseye that time. So you're in 2, wasting no time walking that in. It's a brilliant way to start the back 9 with a birdie. Nearly immediately in behind Kim Soo-ji, just on the fringe, but it's negligible. off the flag. Well, that's a pretty good way to get yourself out of a rut. One more look. Each and every one of these players in this group went pin seeking, and Kimsey took that to a whole other level by actually hitting it. Would have been a pretty quick way to wash away the mistakes the last 20 minutes or so. Is this gonna have the speed? Oh yes!
Nice body.
Oh, we saw one of those yesterday as well. It almost hovered on Choyan for a solid second before gravity decided to play along. Yeah, okay, you've earned this. Chegabin, she is 1 under through 10 after that short putt. Well, that one she was going to have no trouble with whatsoever. That's as much relief as it is pride as we get one more look at it. It's a simple wedge, not even a full swing. It's actually on the backspin where it comes up and grazes the flag and stops within millimeters. Kim Min-ju has to go quick to try and get up the hill. Short. Struck with the right pace. Narrowly short of the green, a putt for birdie. You think, I was gonna say, I think it's online. She certainly thought it was. There's Park Hyun-kyung. A bit of control issues with the driver at 10. In the rough, she plays her second. Two from three, the birdies in this featured group. A little bit less dramatic, the approach shot for Kim Soo-ji, but give her 3 birdies in her last 4. It's absolutely marching up the leaderboard. Now Yoo So-yeon at 10. Yeah, a bit more loft to keep that close. exceptional approach work. We'll leave with little more than a 6-foot putt for birdie. Here's how we look. Not a ton of movement since our last update, but there are some players just outside of that top 10 who are making some serious strides. Ijumi teed off at 10. She is through 7. And currently, within just a few strokes of the top of the leaderboard, Sung Gaon, great round today, 68 for a share of 8th. Kim Ji-soo, Park Young-young, and Imi Jung amongst those at 4 under par. We'll take another quick break. More from Peiram when we return. graphical form, much like its true-to-life counterpart, shows how impressive this 18th hole is, with a narrow fairway flanked by water on either side. One of the crown jewels of this Cynthia Dye McGray designed course, part of the internationally renowned Dye Design Group. The approach for Ijumi as she wraps up her front nine, finds the front portion of the 18th green. Will be a lengthy birdie for Yu So Young, trying to move to under par. She is putt very well, just doesn't have the birdies to show for it. Another example of that right here. Just a couple of feet removed from that birdie that is just proving to be elusive for the time being. All up and skittering to a halt. Just a few feet shy of a birdie. See how she's able to try and convert in a few moments, but in the meantime, Park Young and not going to be able to progress through 4 under. After her 68 yesterday, only 1 birdie, 1 bogey on the front nine, which is where she did most of her moving yesterday, with 4 birdies on the East course. 211, Kim So-yoon 2 is able to get to 2 under, up into a tie for 25th. '11 is a 333-meter par 4. The imposing ribbon bunker to the left just before the water for any hooked or overly drawn drives. Straight shot towards the stake. Gives you with a mostly straight approach down. Another hole surrounded by trees and sand. And the pin that we find today. Well, it is located 34 yards deep of the 47 yards, so 13 from the back and 7 from the left. Tee shot for Park Young, finds the fairway. Two for 2, and away they go. And away we go back to 18. It's a downhill putt that's going to move to our left at the end. Break comes in just a smidge early. It's a good opening 9. Fast putt up the hill. Definitely need the speed to work back towards the flag. Unfortunately, not on the line. Comfortably on at 13. Can hear the wind picking up slightly. Still a very pleasant Friday afternoon in the mountains of Gyeonggi-do. 25 degrees, 1.5 meters per second the wind out of the southeast, and sunny breaks through somewhat of a gray sky. This course beginning to wake up from its winter slumber. Groundskeepers have done a brilliant job to get it prepared. Fairways and greens are in immaculate condition. Speaking of immaculate, it'd be pretty on the nose to describe that approach as such. And Park Young
나이스 나이스.
almost does one better. Both inside of about 6 feet. And over to 10. That's going to get a kick to move ever closer. She was going after that flag once again, boldened by her near eagle at the last. Len Grant, why not make it 3 from 3? It's not supposed to be an easy pin placement. Somebody forgot to tell the groups that. Kim Soo-ji at 10. Still some work to do to really make a push for the final groups tomorrow, but she's certainly on the right track. Three under has her inside the top 20 for now. Takes a tap in. Fractions of a foot away from a birdie. Oh, he's so young. To move back to even, she continues to go up and down, but that broke away inside of the hole almost immediately. Down at the putter before handing it off to her caddy for some answers. Ken Young has her birdie. Up to 5 under inside of the top 10. Once again, picks up her second birdie of the day. She's been chasing it since 7, back to where she started the day at 1 under. Yu So Young. Starting to sweep back, proving she was right on, understanding the break. Started with a bit too much pace, and now Lynn Grant. Can she make it 3 from 3 in this group? Barely, but it'll go. Back inside the cut line for the time being. 74 yesterday in the opening round. Today, 3 birdies. Considering she didn't have a single one yesterday, she's starting to get a handle on this course. Kim Se-young with that has given herself a bit more breathing room. She was in dire straits for a while there, the 4 bogeys and 5, but scrapped and clawed her way back to even. Green to the fringe and back again. Take a look at 12, which is where we are headed next. The first par 5 of the back 9. Over the water and clearing the sand trap. The end of the bunker, 190 meters from the tee. Anywhere inside the landing zone, just onto the fairway, leaves about 260 on average. Play your 3-5 wood or hybrid. Pick your way down the fairway once again as it narrows, getting closer to the green. Bunker on the left, bunker on the right, and then finally with the approach, there's an abstract looking but costly set of sand to the left, one more bunker to the right, the trees forming the perimeter behind. Getting some separation between the waterfall and the water features in behind, and the pin placement today, ladies and gentlemen, well, it is 8 yards off the front of the green, very, very shallow, 4 yards from the right. Missing the fairway altogether. Well into the rough. We'll see how she is able to plot and execute her escape. Really our first time all week seeing the first hole. Generally, everyone is well past it by the time we come on the air. Jumi, only 103 meters to go after a good drive. Gets about hole high. She might just hang on to the green. No, a little bit more at the end. She'll stop on the fringe. She still has 8.5 holes to go if she tries to make up 2 more strokes to catch Kimin Biai, who has the lead so far at 8 under par. But imagine over the course of the next 90 minutes or so, we will see a challenge from the field, starting to pick up the pace a little bit and see some incredible shots selected and executed in this second round of the 2023 MEDIHEAL HANKOOKILBO Championship from the Payram Club. Well, undaunted by the rough, Yu So-yeon plays a hybrid expertly to return to the fairway. Park Yang-gung also narrowly off the fairway, playing her second. Also follows the similar trajectory, going right to left. Kim Se-young losing the handle on the speed control. She flies all the way down towards the camera scaffolding beneath it. What she had in mind when she made that putt from the fringe. I was expecting it to move back left, would never make the aspired turn. She's walking with that confident swagger that we became quite accustomed to in 2022, just picking her way across the course at the moment. Now Kim Min-ju on 14, that would have been for birdie. Excellent touch. Just onto the front of the green and advancing no further, exactly how she would have liked. Not quite as close, but similarly well struck from Park Yang-gung. Well, from a tricky spot, she's making this look quite easy. If only she could eliminate the miss and have more strokes like that, she would be comfortably away from the cut line, but you can only play what's in front of you, and Kim Se-young plays that well. Young had that putter extended, thought she had it.
No, I don't actually.
A frustrating par. Look how close she came and willing it. 1 more inch, 2 more inches, and it would have been there.
A little light off the face, I think, just because it's ball so below your feet. I think if we play outside right, it's not coming back.
Okay. You happy with the right center?
That's fine, yeah.
All of a sudden, after battling back to get under par, you can start to see the confidence blossoming. Always a team working with our caddy. Where do we want to attack this? Thought 1, thought 2. Pick the plan, and now time to execute. And Yu So-yeon strokes that eloquently. She gives credit where credit is due. She says, nice read. You can read it as well as you like. It's all about taking advantage of it, and it's precisely what she's done. Back-to-back birdies now for the former world #1. Never quite had the line sorted. Off the flag again. This time, it's still finishing about 7 feet away. Plenty of pace and almost using it like a bumper at a bowling alley. It's online, and it's there. It's just methodical at this point. Her 4th birdie since the 6th hole, 4 under, just outside of the top 10, and still plenty of time to keep ascending. After something of a slow start to begin the day, it's full steam ahead now. It's a well-played drive off the tee at 13 to the fairway on the left side. Also taking a very narrow path with the sand trap in the rough. Willing straight drives to meet it. Both into the fairway. Now to the approach. Just a few feet short of the flag when it arrives on the green. time it would stop about the middle of the green, and we haven't seen many be able to convert from that distance. You see Kim Ji-soo, she's playing on the west course, having teed off at 10. Lee Joo-mi currently on the first. Both of those players on the front page of the leaderboard. Park Young-young amongst those still out, including Kim Soo-ji, who are starting to make a push with slightly less than half of their round still to be had. And we'll keep an eye on Yoo So-yeon, maybe not today, but certainly heading into the weekend. It looks like she has found her stride in this Friday afternoon in Icheon. This is the MEDIHEAL HANKOOKILBO Championship, the second event of 2023, the third of the season. More when we come back. Well, it was a brave, precise, and quite frankly, brilliant drive. 232 meters over the water for Lee Joo-mi on 2, leaving her with this short wedge approach. There's a reason she is one of the likeliest candidates to reach the top of the leaderboard by day's end, with the confidence she's playing with and the ability to back it up. Onto the green and two, on two. So we go over to 14 with Choi on. Still doing the waltz with this cut line. Inside it, outside it. This for the former. Oh, 270 degrees around the hole and refusing to drop. Cocktail of frustration and disbelief as she taps in, looking for just her second birdie of the day. That would have been it. At the moment, she wouldn't qualify. Well, it's the safe shot, but it's not the birdie enabling shot. Soyeon, she is at the right depth, but on the wrong side of the green. Long way back. It's going to get the extra kick of speed here downhill. Perfect putt. And that's a big time birdie. Kim Min-ju, look at that round. 6 birdies, not a single bogey with only 3 to play, and she moves within 3 inside the top 10 now. Could go down as a transformative putt. Managing the wind, her back on 13, Park Young-kyung. Able to go down from the fairway and into a makeable birdie spot on that green. Let's go to 14, the par 3, Kim So-yoon 2. It's 153 meters. She needs to be back left. She's back. Gonna roll a little more to the right before finally coming to a halt. Cashing in on her birdie. She played that second hole like it was absolutely nothing, and now with 7 still to play, she's 7 under and just 1 off the lead. A long way back for you, Soyeon. Give it her best. Will come up about 4 feet shy. Well missed, and luckily avoiding the worst of it with The rocks and the water just a few feet more to the left. The scale of the drop is certainly on display from that zoom in. Back to 13 with Lynn Grant, the Swede. Does she hang on to this line just long enough? Yes, she does. Between last week and this week, we haven't often seen the putter come alive as it has done today. 4 birdies, 2 bogeys, back up to even for the tournament. Green at 12, but only for a moment. One of the rare greens that Kim Soo-ji has not been able to find in regulation today thus far. Five to play, 5 under for Park Young through 13. Spun to a stop. That's how it's done. Gonna go to the par 3 third. And a relatively rare miscue for Ijumi off the tee. Trying to get up and down from the sand. That's the sign of a woman on a mission, as she has been. With how well she's putted, expect nothing short of a par from her there. So we honor 2-putt par.
I already saw it.
You did?
I already had left. We had the pin last year.
You can hear her talking about we had the pin here last year. There's less than a handful of golfer caddy combos that speak English, which is to be expected, but it is certainly a pleasant treat for us on this side of the broadcast. Makes it easier to decipher and figure out what the intentions are. Just a fraction more pace. Kim Soo-ji probably has her birdie. She's been reading the greens exceptionally well today. On to 14. Would have been a birdie for Kim So-yoon too. Opposite problem where the speed was on the money, not quite there with the line. Very little to add when the patrons do your job for you, like they just did for us there. Third birdie and 4 now for Kim Se-young. The expectations have met reality as Ijumi keeps herself within 1 through 3. Kim Min-ju at 16. After a tee shot gone awry, just wanted to get up onto the green. Completes the hike and trades the wedge for the putter.
Max. Yeah.
Well, there's still plenty for Lynn Grant to do.
Ideally 60.
Ideally 60 would be great. Yeah, something kind of on the 1 of the 14 would be perfect.
Six iron for Yu So-yeon. Loses the grip on the follow through, and that's a nervous smile, and that will be why. If she's not in the sand, she's buried in the rough just beside it.
Oh.
Very little needs to be said there, other than oops. She's the class of the group, Park Young. Hole high, about 10 feet to its right. Quick power up on the walk down to the green. Semi-disappointing 2-putt par for Kim Min-ju. Still had an absolutely brilliant round today, and it is for that reason that she is knocking on the door of page 1 of the leaderboard. As it stands up 46 positions, she is in a tie for 9th. Sunggan and Pang Min-ji. It is Kim Ji-soo, Kim Shi-won, No Seung-yi, Chi Han-sil, Chung Yoon-ji tied for 4th at 6 under. Lee Joo-mi only 2 under today, but putting exceptionally well, showing some proficiency off the tee at that, to be level with Park Ji-young, who's 7 under round of 65, has her 1 stroke back of the rookie star so far this week, Kim Min Bai, as we near the end of round number 2. At the moment, 66 players inside the cut line at +2. More from Peiram in just a few moments. Well, our answer to where did Yuso Yan land? Right in front of us in the sand. You can see just how steep of a drop it is down into the bunker. You do not want to be stuck on the border of the sand and the hill. Not too tumultuous a lie here. We'll see how she plays it out. Looks like she caught it beautifully. I'd say underscore that, highlight it, throw an exclamation mark after it. Her group mates might be lucky to have a par putt from that close. Just another day at the office for one of the best this country has ever produced. Jumi had missed the fairway off the tee. Long way to go. Still on the green. As we head back to 14. Here's Lynn Grant. Starts right, needs to move on back. Does so, but not until it was level with the hole. Well, before the shot, we'll take a flashback to the 13th. Yesterday on 13, 110 meters with the pitching wedge. Lands about 15 yards short and left and perfectly on line. You hear something of a delayed reaction, and then the rightful celebrations as that eagle would move her to 2 under after back-to-back bogeys at 9 and 10. Let's see if there's any more double circles to be had here. Obviously a much different pin placement today over to the right. That's definitely workable. And Park Young. Narrow miss to the left of the hole. It is a 2-putt par for Park Young. Now Kim Soo-ji. Approach shot on 13. Nice and tidy. Hole high, about 7 feet to the right. After a momentary departure from her run of birdies, she has a chance to get back. Grant, good putt for her par to stay at even. Landing zone on 15. See nearly a 30-meter long bunker to the left of the fairway, only 18 meters wide at the most narrow stretch. Brings the rough on either side very much into play. The island sand trap just before the green. Definitely lots of real estate on this putting surface with which to work. Close to the right side, and on the front third is the pin in today's second round. Brilliantly played drive. Remember when we mentioned just how narrow the fairway was? Yu So-yeon says no problem. Couldn't find it in regulation on the par 3, but shows no problems whatsoever with the driver. Next to play. Downhill into the fairway is Park Young. Stopped a little bit and momentarily in the fairway before settling into the rough. Arriving in the middle of the green on 17. Some work to be done still. So we head back to 4 with Ijumi. As for a share of the lead, it would be one of her best shots of the day. Nearly was. By the slightest miss to the right, she'll mark and have just a few feet left for a par. Kim Se-young, oh, looked like she had it perfectly on line. The speed it was carrying, just enough off center to prevent another step up the leaderboards. Par confirmed for Ijumi with 4 holes of the back 9 in the bank. 5 to play to find 1 birdie for a share and 2 for the outright lead. Suji, she did so well to put herself in a great spot. Just misread it.
언니 맞지? 네, 감사합니다.
After briefly conferring with Park Young, So-young's been given the all clear. Only 151 meters remains after a great drive. She wants to keep this close to the front of the green. And she's going to get a little bit of help. Landed left will carry a bit more towards the middle. And she's missed today. She has missed left. One under. The more impressive rounds on this Friday, certainly the ones that we followed. And this is tricky, to put it mildly, for Park Young. This has her heels in the rough, ball well below her, and you can see she's just trying to fight the balance without grounding her club. High lofted to get out. Couldn't get up onto the green. Kim Min-ju at 17. To move within 3. Does it have the speed? Just about. The wind blowing right to left across the green. It's a pretty good job too. Stay hole high there. Would have been a birdie putt for Park Young-kyung had she had the power to get it out of the sand and onto the green. Oh, this might come back. It's expertly played just beneath the putting surface. It'll be a short par for Park Young-kyung. Sang off the tee. Request to sit. Request denied. All the way to the fringe and not going to come back. Suji with the 6-iron here at 14. And for someone who hasn't found a birdie at any of the par 3s as of yet in this tournament, she's off to a pretty good start there. So-yeon, an outside chance, but a chance nevertheless for birdie. Here it comes to the left. Here it comes. Just a bit too quick. Another near perfect read. She and her caddy have these greens figured out down to a science at this point. Grant. That'll be a haunting miss. She's definitely stabilized some sea legs as she's growing accustomed to this LPGA Tour of Korea. Come awfully close on multiple occasions today. Striking the ball much better, setting herself up much better. She's just waiting for the birdies to follow. Has done well to get back to even, up 30 spots from where she started the day.
Yeah.
16, 17, and 18, all that remain for Yu So-yeon. Still a 2 under through 15. Now Kim Se-yeon. Trying to make the long way back. Needs to move left here. Oh, there's that move to the left. Tucks back around as well. She could just iron out some of those wrinkles on reaching the green and leaving herself with less work to do. She would be going even more low than she has today. Kim So-yeon 2 is 2 under on the back 9. Had been even at the turn. Bogey at 7, birdie at 2. Another player yet to find a birdie on the par 3 this week. Six meters and slightly downhill. Still needs to give it a good enough stroke to get it up. And just going to miss to the inside. That looked near perfect. She'll settle for a par with 2 to play. And the waiting game. Needs that green to clear up. Bask in the sunshine. Since we have a moment, look back to 16. 8 iron. Last year, the inaugural playing of this competition. Smooth stroke from Kim Jae-hee. You know what's next. Ace. That's the best direction I've seen. You go hole in one to the player, to the Maserati she just won. It's art. So it is certainly achievable here. Kim Jae-hee is even for the day, +3 for the tournament. Of course, you have to walk by your brand new car and look over your shoulder and say, I'll be back for you.
Straight at the pen with them when you have 3 or 4 yards left.
Soyeon is the first to tee off. Plan, attack the front of the green, leave yourself 4 to 6 feet to the left. That's exactly how she's played it. Great birdie. Kim Soo-ji now 4 under for the day. Look at that scorecard. Near perfect since the first hole. She's just 2 strokes back of Park Ji-young and Kim Ji-soo and Lee Joo-mi. 3 would give her a share of the lead. Park Young's turn. Look at this kick. Just needs to slow it up now. Could be on for a couple of birdies here. It's super tough to get it to stop like that. It's definitely a forgiving pin placement today on 18 with the downslope back towards the hole. It looks like the sun's decided to hang around for the last hour of our coverage on the day. We've been close to cracking the leader, not quite able to do so yet. Lee Joo-mi 1 back. She is through 4 on the back 9. We have Park Young 5 under, 3 back through 15. Kim Soo-ji 4 under for the day through 14. And Kim Min-ju on 18, bottom of the second page of the leaderboard. More from Payram after these messages. We're getting close to closing time. Jumi has a high lofted approach after coming just short of the green. Gets on the brakes pretty quick. We'll have an uphill putt for par at 5. Nolan Grant. Oh, it's another nearly breathtaking conversion with the putter. Close, but slightly shy several times today. It's another 2-putt par. And on 18, ending on a high. It's a great day today for Kim Min-ju. Count him up, 7 birdies, just a 1 bogey at 16. She finishes 5 under par, 3 back. Up 42 spots. That is the best climb so far today. Hyun Se-rin and Han Ji-won both up 41 positions. Park Yan-gang will continue to ascend, chasing that birdie for a hot minute. 16, 11, 7. Her 3 birdies today. Just 2 off the lead and is setting herself up very well for the weekend with still 2 holes remaining to try and get ever closer. Let's keep Se-young from the rough. Trying to get back left. Didn't give herself the angle to really go out and attack. Stops in the valley, and it'll be a lengthy putt for birdie. It's a lonely walk around when you're confident in a birdie that doesn't want to pan out. Just enough to roll through the fringe on 15. Holding steady in the tie for 10th is Kim Soo-ji. Down to the final 2 holes in her 3rd round, and just hasn't been able to keep up with the pack above her that have been knocking down birdies left and right. Jumi certainly has not had that trouble. Again, rack up another. Is now a three-way tie for second at 7 under par, and she still has 3 holes now after that birdie to catch Kim Biel. This is 17. It is a 358-meter par 4, the dogleg right. Not the most challenging of drives, just needs a little bit of shape. Fade it, cut it around the trees. 235 meters from the tee is the beginning of that bunker on the left side of the fairway. And the approach over the defensive bunker off the front. One at the back for anyone who goes exceptionally long. Pin today towards the back of the green, 24 yards off the front, 7 yards from its right side. Park Young, the first to drive. Struck with a vengeance. There's the prescribed fade around the fairway. Brilliantly played by Len Grant. Another one where she loses the handle, Yu So-yeon, and it's another miss to the left. It's a 2-putt for Kim Se-young. 15 holes down. Still even for the day, 1 under for the event. Suji down a putt, just a nudge to get it started. Leaves it to the inside. Still time to try and set herself up well for moving day tomorrow. Jumi on 6. First of her efforts to get to the top of the leaderboard.
Nice touch it.
4-footer to the right. Take her par.
I really like it. You never won.
$172. Trying to catch this clean. Looks like 5 wood to reach. Validates that decision. Young is on the green, but only for a brief spell. Carried a ton of speed and rolling off to the rough at the back. Right at the pin. About 4 meters to the right now. Needs to convert with the putter. But that is definitely one of her more impressive approaches on the day, Lynn Grant. Kim Soo-ji in the home stretch, her final par 3 of the day. This downhill 16th almost gets herself into some trouble, really trying to attack just over the water, but not going to escape from the rough. Well, it has been since 2014. Kim Se-young, when she last won on the LPGA Tour of Korea. It was the MBN Ladies Open with on-off in August that year. She won 3 times on the tour in 2013, including Hanwha Finance Classic when she beat Yu So-yeon in a playoff. Since then, she spends the majority of her time on the LPGA Tour. She won the Pelican Women's Championship. Excuse me, she fell in a playoff last year at the Pelican Women's Championship in 21 to Nelly Korda of the U.S. The 2020 LPGA Player of the Year. Wants to check the wind after that shot. Trying to figure out how she's got herself so buried. Leslie Isomi, who is in danger of missing out on the fun this weekend. Off to a little bit of a shaky start to 2023. Just needs 1 birdie on the final 3 holes to get inside the cut line. But in a stretch of holes where she's not struggled, she's been fine, but fine isn't really helping her pick up birdies. Only 1 on the back 9. That was yesterday at 18. Here's 17 with Park Young. Speed looks great. How's the line? How's the line? almost perfect. It's wonderfully silly sport sometimes. Sometimes it feels like the simple shots seem impossible, while those low percentage efforts, when things go off plan, are made to look so easy. Choi Yun in the same boat, needing a birdie. And she's done just about everything. That's relief as much as anything else. You can hear the laughter of finally. Well, she's made one from a similar position already today. Can she run it back? No. Apparent pretty early that that was not going to take the line that it needed. Right to left. Settle for another par. One final hole to go today. And now Grant for birdie. No words are gonna provide much comfort in that moment. Just takes a second pondering over the green. To get inside the cut line, a 4-footer. Saved it for the very end. What a day it was for her. Up and down, topsy-turvy, a 75. Plenty of bogeys, and for the longest while looked like she was gonna bow out. But she hung in there just long enough and made a birdie when it mattered. And up out of the rough to about 7 centimeters. Not close. No need to readjust on that one. It's a tap in par. With the par 4 and par 5 remain. On the tee at the last, Park Yang. Too much pace. Roll the right over top of the hole at 16. disappointing par.
Nice and
Well,
far
things
to
are generally going pretty well when you do come away with disappointing pars.
와.
Becoming a recurring theme here. Where is this going to end up? I'm not going to give her the cleanest of looks down towards the green, but it avoids the worst of the OB. Tremendous drive at 7 for Ijumi, 220 meters, leaving her with less than 90. Both she and her partner are able to get up. Par on 16 for Kim Soo-ji. Down to the final two. Down to the final hole, period 4. One of our featured groups just making the turn. The approaches, they begin here. That's going to be a kind rollback. 18 is set up for success today. There's no doubt about that. This plan of attack and consultation time. Working out the yardage and how best to play that second shot from the rough. In the meantime, let's go to 7. Down to 2 holes for Ijumi. Looks like this one's got a chance. It's going to go. Into a share of the lead at long last. Start of the day in second. At the moment, with 2 holes to play, she is now our co-leader. 15 holes down, 12 birdies, 12 pars, excuse me, and 3 birdies. She struck this record pretty well today so far. It's Probably used it from the rough more than she would like, but when she's needed to.
Take what we get.
It should be good enough to cover the fairway.
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah.
I think certainly enough to cover the hill. It's downhill after all. Not particularly trapped in the rough either. Correction, not the hybrid. Looks to be 5 wood again. Saw this, I think, on 14. Starting left, but should work out okay. Maybe not. That's the hill she was talking about trying to cover, but she's hooked that. Hasn't improved her lie. She is closer, but not where she wanted to be. 5 wood as well for Pak Young, and that's much better contact. That's what Yu So-yeon was after. It's a fantastic second shot from the rough. Last on the second shots is Lynn Grant. The 23-year-old would be more than satisfied to be not there with Pak Young, but she tops it. And that took a crazy kick on the slope. She avoids the creek despite coming awfully close. Get a replay of it, you'll see that just came up out of her swing a little early, and as a result, there was very little to do to try and save that. Kim So-yeon too. After a great approach shot, she set herself up for one final birdie. It is a round of 69 today. She goes out with a 36 even, 3 birdies on the way in. 3 under and tied for 18th with the likes of EA1. Well, on 18, she's not really in too much danger of the cut. But the advantage of going downhill is gone. She's going to try with the hybrid this time. Still a fair way out with her third. She caught it well. Where is it headed? Long last back into the fairway. Try and go up and down for a par from just off the green.
Yeah, it's definitely warm.
From this slide, it's gonna run more. Right? Yeah.
Oh yeah. You get a little bit of help.
Yusoyan out of the rough. To avoid the sand, find the green, does both of those things. See how she's able to manage to go downhill.
Well, you know you can't miss it left, right? So.
So you know you can't miss left. Yeah, that's pretty well spot on. Kim Suji also with an adventure off the tee. Just avoiding the sand as she plays her approach on the final par 4 of the day. Just roll onto the front. Long range putt for birdie will be next. Probably could have used a bit more club. It's been the most drama-free 18th of the group. Just over 100 meters. Oh, look at that, get in the hole. Oh, catches a piece, but not enough to drop. What a brilliant shot. That would have vaulted her into a share of the lead. Wow. Here it is again. You can't hit a ball any better than that. Just lands so softly. Fractionally, by millimeters, it avoids holing out. It would have become a three-way tie at the top in the blink of an eye. Trying to put her game face on, but just finding the humor in it. It was a 68 yesterday. It'll be a 69 today. And it'll be in a three-way tie for the runner-up position. Fixing the divot more like a crater with how heavy that fell.
Oh, thanks.
Might as well see it again from this angle. After a fairly high number of eagles yesterday, we still haven't seen any today. That was about as close as we've got. Soyeon Jung had one at 2 yesterday. Chae Reem saw that highlight a little earlier. Also saw the amateurs, Kim Min Sol. When she eagled the 7th, Sonye Bean had one. AG on 9 had an eagle at the par 5. That is a disproportionate amount in the opening round and fractionally away from some 18th hole magic for Park Young-young, who, quite honestly, brilliant to see her bounce back this week. And she'll remember from last week, there's a reason you play 4 rounds and tournaments aren't often called after 2. She will be very much in the hunt tomorrow. Still expecting to see some showers, actually quite a bit of rain tomorrow. Looking a little better on Sunday than it had been when we checked the forecast last night. Here's Lynn Grant from off the green. Oh, she might have a chance here. Hang on now. 144 strokes through the midway mark of the tournament as we go to 17. Long way back for Kim Soo-ji. Gave it her best crack. Was always going to be tough. Here's Yoo So-yeon. To go one better than her score from yesterday, but just pushed to the outside. Shoots 71 in round one, the 71 in round two. Some star-studded support. Finishes the day in a six-way tie for 25th. Some work to do this weekend. Two putts to make the cut. Should just take the one. She set herself up well despite an adventure here at 18. Rolls that in confidently. 74 yesterday and today, a 70. Perfectly even through 36 holes. Around it was today. Birdies at 7, 11, 16, and 18 for Park Young-young. Literal millimeters away from a share of the lead. Also nice to see Lindgren's partner on the bag. Collegiate player at Limestone in the US. Kim Se-young just leaving that a bit short. Par at 17. Still even with one hole to play on this Friday. Starting to get a little bit more finalized towards the top of the leaderboard, but do have a new name. And that name is Park Young-young. Let's go through some of the highlights of this second round. Some incredible putts even before we came on the air. This effort from the fringe. Kim Min-bi at that point, creating a 2-stroke advantage for herself at the top. Go over to 5. Up to 6 under, and it's pretty easy to identify with a long putter. Park Ji-young did not put a foot wrong today. And despite initially fearing the worst, thinking she left that well short, well, she made it look like she planned to do it all along. One of the many setups for a round of 65 today. Up to 7 under, closing the gap. More from Park Ji-young. This on 5 in the home stretch of her second round. And from the border of the fairway on 9. Final hole of the day. She had just finished a run of pars and then had this narrowly, but enough to move within one, a 65. Bested only by Kim Min-bi's round of 64 in the opening round. Park Young-young early in the round. She had a bogey at 1, pars through until 7. And she had her first birdie, and from there it was game on. Early in the round for Ijumi. Started the day with 6 straight pars, would finally find a bird on the par 3 16th. Good looking 2 on the scorecard. Order 11. Hop, skip, and a jump to climb up the hill. And another near eagle. There were a lot of near eagles today. Just a simple tap in at that point. What a run it had been. 5 birdies and 6. Kim Min-ju was playing very dialed in today. On 11, this was Park Young-young, still in a tie for 10th. By the time she struck that approach, and she still left herself with a little bit of work to do. Downhill left to right putt. Just her second birdie at that point, and there would be more, just as there were more for Ijumi. Her second on the second, beyond pin high, but sits up comfortably above the hill. It's a nervy putt to come back down. Have to be on line, and she was. Go up to 7 and would stay there for a while. Return to her in a minute. But on 15, Kim Min-ju, after a good run from herself, 3 consecutive pars, back on the birdie column. And to 16. Down the hill into the wind, Park Young-young up to 6 under. She just hardly misstruck a ball today. This was truly just moments ago on 7, and it's a 3-way tie at the top. 8 under, she is currently on the 8th hole, and of course this dazzling bit of approach play just a few minutes ago. Park Young-young over the outside lip, just kicking out. Should have a tap-in birdie. So she in a 3-way tie for second at the moment, just 2 at the top, Kim Min-bial and Ijumi, but Ijumi is not quite finished as of yet. Just been plodding along, minding her own business, and there you see the updated leaderboard. She has another birdie at 8. So she has the outright lead with just 1 hole to play, finally surpassing the rookie Kim Min-bial and on pace to nearly match what she had done yesterday. If she birdies the last, she will match what she did yesterday. Consecutive rounds of 67 would give her a 2-stroke lead heading into moving day tomorrow. Kim Shi-won, a 68 for her as well. A nice 66 carded by Kim Min-ju. We saw plenty of her highlights. Chun Ye-sung, 3 holes to play. She is at 3 under for the event. Yu So-yeon at that 71. Han Chin-sun an even par round of 72 today. Jae Min-young, Kim Se-young, both even. Both still on course. Chance to move up a little bit higher. Im Ji-ni and Lynn Grant, identical rounds of 72 under to be at even. And Aline, another superstar, back as a MEDIHEAL sponsored golfer. We will see her this weekend in a tie for 39th at even. Ko Chi-won, Pei Su-yeon, Lee Jung-min, all at even as well. And this is where it gets nervy, especially if you're still out there like Kim Ji-young too is. Tough one for those at +2, including Pak Bo-mi, who goes 2 over today and narrowly missed the cut. Same for Kime Rima, +3. She still has time, though, to try and make up for it. The amateur, Lee Hyo-sung, trying to pick up a birdie or 2 on the way in, and also join us for the festivities this weekend. It was a brilliant day with some fantastic shot selection, execution, and on several occasions, some great displays of the putter as well. And that is where we'll say goodbye for today. Just a matter of what the lead will be for Ijumi. Will it be 1? Will it be 2? Might she be even with a bogey at the last? We'll have to find out tomorrow when we come on the air. An hour earlier, shift your schedules accordingly. 1 p.m. local time here in Yoju-shi for round number 3, moving day at this second edition of the MEDIHEAL HANKOOKILBO Championship. For our SBS Golf and Spot crews, I've been Adam Jenkins saying thanks for joining us, and we will see you tomorrow for more on the LPGA Tour of Korea.